Martina here, and in this episode we're going to go through how to attach the cover boards to the text block. Now, there are a couple of things you're going to need to attach your cover boards. First of all, you of course need your bookbinding glue, some white PVA glue, and something to apply it, like a glue brush. You're going to need a pair of scissors and an x-acto knife or a box knife to cut out your boards. You're also going to need some thin and strong fabric to strengthen your spine. This can, for example, be some cheesecloth, but I'm just going to use this fabric I have here, which is quite thin but very strong. And finally, you of course need your cover boards. The most common material to use as cover boards is a type of thick cardstock in a slight gray or brownish tone that is very dense and durable. Me personally, I really like using these kind of wooden chipboards. They're 3mm thick and very strong. The reason I like them is because they're quite a bit heavier, so it kind of adds to the weight of the book. As you can see, I've already cut my cover boards to size. To get the right measurements on their cover, you should measure from the top of your headband to the bottom of your tailband. Now, to measure the width of the cover, you can measure from the spine to the foredge of the book and add 5mm to that width. Then I just transfer those measurements to the cover board and cut it out with a box knife. After cutting out the boards, you have to drill a couple of holes for the cords on your spine. So just grab one of your boards, align it with the spine, write down which one is going to be the front cover and which is going to be the back, and mark the points where the cord hit the edge of the cover. Now you can measure 1.5 cm in from the edge and make a cross where you want to drill the hole. Make sure to choose a bit that is large enough to fit both the cords through the hole. And notice that I first drill straight down and then add an angle when I go out again, so that it will be easier to make the cords lay flat later. And finally, when the holes are drilled, I just go over with a box knife or an x-acto knife to clean up the holes. So now we're at the point where we have to attach these to the book itself. I forgot to say at the beginning that you're also going to need some parchment paper and some extra cardstock for this step as well. And we're going to begin with the back cover. As you can see, I've marked my text block with the front and the back. So we're going to begin here. And I'm going to take my cords and pull them from the outside and through the holes to the inside. Like that. And I'm going to pull them quite tightly. Here. Now I'm gonna grab my scissors and just cut them a little bit shorter, and I'm gonna get some help from my cat. Heidi? Thank you for your help, Astrid. Yes, it tastes very good. And then when we've cut our jute cords down to size, we can start fraying them. I'm gonna fray the jute cords so that it will stay a lot flatter against the book. And also it will give it more surface to glue on. I'm trying to pull out the extra small bits that just are gonna fall out anyway. Hi there, you helping me out? Now, gluing the end sheets to the cover itself is one of the last steps we're gonna do, so I really want to avoid getting any glue on this sheet at all. And that's why we're gonna need some parchment paper and this piece of cardstock. The reason why we need the cardstock is because we need something to soak up the moisture from the glue, because if the end sheet gets moist, it might become a little bit wavy, and that is not what we want. And I'm gonna put a layer of this parchment paper right here. Try to kind of fold it under the cover here, and I'm just gonna pull down so these are threaded all the way through, and now we can start applying the glue. So I'm just going to put some glue underneath all the places where I'm going to fold the cords, and then for this next part I like to just use my fingers because I feel like I have more control when using only my fingers. And I'm just gonna push them down onto the glue and apply some more glue on top. And I'm gonna get it into the hole here as well. So now I'm gonna flip the cover over, and while I do that, I'm gonna make sure that this edge here is just pushing down towards the spine. So I'm pushing towards the spine, and if I feel like they're a bit slack, I can pull at the cords here and make them lay flat again. Like there. And then I'll continue to push towards the spine as I close it completely. And now I also have to make sure it still lines up with the headbands and that it's centered, because I can't move this later. So this is looking good right there. And the final thing I'm gonna do on this side is to add some more glue to the top of the cords here and put some parchment paper on top of that. There we go. And I'm gonna grab some parchment paper to put that right there. And now I can just flip it and do the other side. Now I'm basically just gonna repeat the same thing on this side. I've got both my boards glued to the cover now, so I can put it into the book press or under a stack of heavy books if you don't have a book press. Now that I've glued the covers to the spine, I'm just gonna leave it here in the book press until tomorrow and make sure that the glue is completely dry before I take it out and do anything more with it. The very last thing we have to do before we can attach the leather to the book is to attach some extra cloth to the spine to strengthen it. The way I attach this is just to apply some glue to the spine and then apply a square that I cut out of the fabric to the spine and add some more glue on top of that. And when it's dry, we can add some embossed patterns and attach the leather. But that's for the next episode.